Hi everyone. So this week was my 5th week of school, and I think like my 9th week here in Spain. And today I kind of wanted to talk about discouragement because as an exchange student, I feel like this is a feeling that is very common and happens quite a bit, especially if you're being a student in a different university, speaking a different language. So this past week I went to Latin class and sat in the front row because I found that's easier for me to understand the professor that way. Well, another one of my little attempts to try and understand exactly what's going on, which I don't think is possible at this point. He asked me a question in Spanish, and I honestly didn't understand a word he said. I don't know if it was because I was nervous, because I was put on the spot. Normally, I don't get nervous with that kind of thing, especially, back in the United States, I can understand the question, so I usually don't get nervous. But this time I was frozen, really red face, and could you repeat yourself? I don't understand what you're saying. I felt really embarrassed. All the students were looking at me. Then when I finally did understand the question, I answered, and he said it, and he's like, nope, that's wrong. Sorry, and then he wrote the correct answer. And that kind of made me nervous and scared, and obviously just a little bit. Oh my gosh. He put the exchange student on spot. That was so scary. Poor girl. She looked like an idiot. But that's normal. I want to make this video and show people that being an exchange students aren't stupid. First of all, they just have moments where, especially in a different language, they just have moments where things don't make sense. Obviously, it's a different language, it's a different culture, it's a whole different communication system. You're not going to understand everything that goes on in it. So, after class, I kind of just, okay, that was over. I let it roll off my shoulders. I talked to the professor about the question because I was still confused about it. He told me the answer. He helped me figure out the answer. No big deal. It wasn't as embarrassing as I thought it was, and I let it roll off my back. But this kind of thing, I don't want other exchange students to be discouraged by this kind of thing because it's going to happen. I made a video a couple weeks ago saying that I was trying to do a couple of these tricks to understand my professors better and hopefully understand them 100%. Honestly, I still don't understand them 100%. I have been speaking in Spanish, I've been trying really hard, but I still don't get everything all the time. And at first I was very discouraged about that, just like I was discouraged that I could not understand this professor's question. But then this weekend when I was studying a little bit and I was kind of thinking about it, I said, I thought to myself and I said, hey, being an exchange student for a year or even a semester or even a couple weeks, like whatever you're doing as an exchange student, that's courageous in itself. It's hard for people to get motivated to go to class, and you motivated yourself to go to a different country and go to class in a different language. So if I can do that, I can build up the courage to face my mistakes, face my problems here, and try and understand the professor's saying. And if I am wrong, I'm wrong. You learn best from mistakes, right? I guess that's what they say, but we'll see. So I decided not to take that experience and let it ruin my time here. I decided not to let it scare me out of the class. I decided to just fight back and talk to the professor more about it and figure out what really is going on so that I can avoid that, but it will happen again. In fact, I'm pretty sure this week he'll ask me a question again and I will probably get it wrong, and all the Spanish students will think to themselves, man, that Erasmus student is just so dumb. But you gotta keep going with it. Another thing I want to talk about is Erasmus students are dumb. I don't get that here, but a lot of the time, yes, exchange students are confused about things, and yes, they say dumb things because that's not their language. They're not going to say things perfectly. They're going to say embarrassing things. We're going to I don't know, come to lunch too early, like at noon, because we're starving. That's the time when I eat back home. We're going to raise our hand and ask questions because actually that's what I'm used to. And we're gonna make dumb mistakes. So I want people to know this, for especially for students studying in the United States. I hope exchange students don't feel this way about American students, but sometimes I get the feeling that, you know, exchange like Spanish students here are surprised that you do well. They're surprised that you do well, or they assume that you don't understand anything, or they assume that you are constantly confused, which, I mean, is partially true, but that doesn't mean that you are not intelligent, you are not worthless. You are you're going to school in a language other than your native language. I want people to understand that, especially for students studying in the United States. If you see an exchange student sitting in class and they don't get it, and they look a little flustered, they might have been crying or something, don't make fun of them. Don't make them feel bad for feeling that way, because it is so difficult to, I know for me it's difficult to even ask questions of my classmates. I'm so nervous, like, gosh, what do they think of me? Do they think that I'm that I don't know how to speak Spanish? What if I say something wrong to them and they start laughing, and it's embarrassing, you know? So I want people to know that, for other exchange students, especially in the United States, that if you see someone struggling, if you see an exchange student that looks upset, just offer to help, or just say hi, or just tell them that it's okay, you know? It's okay that you don't know the exact answer. It's pretty awesome that you're here studying in a different language in the first place. So, first order of business when I come back from Wesleyan, give an exchange student a big hug and tell them it's going to be alright. Because I honestly think, I honestly wish that would happen with me. But I can't say there's no one helpful. I have tons of friends, Spanish friends, who are helpful and they're kind and they listen and they're understanding and they're willing to help if I look flustered and all over the place. But that discouragement that I felt, if I hadn't have had my Spanish friend to talk to about it and tell me that it was okay, I think I might have let it bother me some more. I might have been more scared to go to class or scared to talk to the professor. But I'm glad that he told me that, you know, this happens to Spanish students. Spanish students don't get everything, but they're I guess more nervous to show it. But you have the point of view of an exchange student, where you're sitting in class and you are already a level, let's face it, you're a level below the rest of us, because this is not your native language. It's okay to mess up. And as an exchange student, you're going to mess up. Guaranteed, like probably a million times. For example, right now I'm doing my, I'm writing a paper for this class, and I asked my friend to look over it for me, and he's like, well, this is not really how we write, you know, write a little bit different, and I have to fix some things, and like I said, it was a paragraph, and there was tons of things that seemed odd to him. I'm not getting discouraged about it, even though that's kind of a little nerve-wracking. I'm working harder on writing better and doing those things, but that's what I came here for. I didn't come here to already know it. I didn't come here to be like, yeah, I already know the language, I already know how to write, like, I don't need any help, I'm good. I came here to fail in order to succeed, if that makes any sense. So, don't be afraid of failure, don't be afraid of discouragement, and give an exchange student a hug. Those are my 3 things that I really want you guys to get out of this video. And so if you see an exchange student, go give them a hug. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and hopefully I'll post some more blog posts too, some more pictures and things. Next week I'm going to Paris with my friend for her birthday, so maybe when I get back I can tell you how that went. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.